Then good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to welcome you here with our member, Vítor from Abymys. It's Vítor Castelo. So it's actually, I always call you Lubat, but it should be Vítor Castelo, right?
Yeah.
Okay. From Abymys, so I'm very happy to welcome you here for this Meet the Members. I will let you present yourself and the person accompanying you.
Yeah.
Please mind the fact that this meeting is recorded, that it will be put on our YouTube page of the chamber, and that other interested parts can then follow also this discussion at a later stage.
Yeah.
Vítor, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. So, I am Vítor Castelo. Olá. I am the founder and owner of Abymys. It's a company that I founded in 2020. And in fact, it's a company that was born out of my work that I was already doing in the institutions around knowledge management. Okay, so when I decided to found the company, it was mainly because I would need a bit more of autonomy on my side to do some things that I didn't have so much autonomy back then. And for many years, I stayed like that. So it's my company. I still work in the EU institutions, and it's my main clients. And mainly it was just to do services, to provide services to the EU institutions. Last year, I decided that maybe it would be good to expand a bit because I already grew enough in terms of knowledge, and not only working in the EU institutions is kind of a monster sometimes. So you have a lot of people, a lot of culture, a lot of ways of doing things differently. And I thought that it would be good to expand a bit the scope, not just the EU institutions, but also outside. And I decided that I would, of course, work in Belgium because it's where I live and where I do my things. But also, I would like to extend it to Portugal. We always have our foods, even if we live here, we always have the food there also. So I would like to extend to Portugal, start some relations with Portuguese entities, etc. Governmental, because I also worked in the government or with the government for many years in Portugal. So it would be a nice way of reestablishing all these relations and move on with the company in another direction. So not leaving the EU institutions, because I think it's not just because I'm a company, but I think it's the work that is being done there is really important. And one of the main projects that I still work today also, it's a huge project, involves immense amount of information from the entire commission, for instance. And it's something that I see that really gives fruits for the people in the commission in terms of quick searches and having the information on the spot, etc., etc. It's very, very useful. So it's not leaving the EU institutions, because I think the work that is being done there, it's a good work what we are doing, but voila, go a bit more to the roots also. I feel it. I start to feel the need to go a bit more to the roots also. But at the same time, continue to expand also for the Belgian market, which is a booming market, very big market. And voila. And that's the introduction for our company. So I prepared here some...
So you can share your screen.
Yeah.
Partager. Yes, there.
Ah ouais.
Écran. Okay, partager. Just
Là.
the partager below.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Oh, you could, yeah.
Okay.
And now,
So just Abymys and where are you? Here.
Yes.
Okay. So this is our motto. When we talk about knowledge management, it's something that it's a big word. People talk all the time about knowledge management. Everyone knows what is knowledge, more or less, sometimes. Many times people hear the word knowledge management, but they don't know what is knowledge management. And although we work in knowledge management, our scope goes a bit beyond knowledge management. So, for instance, in the European Commission, we work with knowledge management systems, which are systems, digital systems that we do put in place to manage knowledge. But in fact, what is the goal? Hi, David. The goal.
Hi, good morning.
The goal of the company, in fact, is to align not only the knowledge with the people and the tools. This is something that normally fails from our experience. Okay, so normally people they focus too much on knowledge management systems, or they just do knowledge management. It's one or the other. What we do is try to get the entire system from one end to the other. That's why the motto is aligning knowledge, people, and work. This is very important. Many times we have tools to organize information, to search for information, but they are not very useful. The content is not very understandable. I talk from personal experience. When we go to the commission, we get not only it's in English, but it's jargon English. So it's very tough in the beginning to understand what they are talking about. So our goal is really just to align a bit all these three factors that are the core of knowledge management. So just to give you a simple example. So normally we like to think of ourselves as kind of a cure for what goes wrong in companies. One of the things is, for instance, information scattered or duplicated. Many times, and this happened to me many times also. Many times when we go to a place, they say, you can search this there, and indeed it's there, just that part, but then it connects to something else that I don't know where it is. And that something else can be in another department, in another drive, whatever. It can be even a person. And many times, me and my colleagues, we don't even know where to look or where to start looking for what we want. So another problem is also a duplication. So if you have a huge amount of information, what happens is that eventually within the departments you have someone that has this document, but the other one also has, and the other one, and in the end you have like 10 or 20 documents that are all the same, scattered around through all the departments. So this is already an example of what we can do. So we can just structure the things, see what is the information available in an organization, and start organizing the information so it's centralized. People go to one place, it's not scattered, it's not lost, it's there. So there's no worries about it. Another problem, for instance, and actually it's very due to this one, it's the onboarding and offboarding. So, and this happened to me also. There was one case that was radical. That's why I remember it so well. So I started by going to a project. It was an IT project, development, and they said, "Here is the manual for the application." So it had all the specifications. It So something like this. I was like, okay, no problem. And it was physical, so not in the PC. I was like, okay, so let me start with it. And they said, you have everything that you need, it's there. And I said, okay. So I started reading, introduction, like, what the description of the project, blah, 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 blah. And then I start passing to the requirements and the specifications and to the diagrams. And I started noticing that there were references to things that were not in that book. So I went to my colleagues and I was asking, but where are these books? Because I don't find them anywhere. And they said, yeah, we also don't know. Like, so how are you working with this? How do you know how to do this? And they said, yeah, we just had to investigate how the application is done. So we did a reverse engineering of the application, and then we understood how to do it. But nobody knows where is that documentation, because the guy that did that, he left months ago and he didn't leave anything. So all the knowledge was on his side, and voila. And then we had the problem. So what I could do in hours, just learning and experimenting, it was like 1 week of trying to search and finding things, do reverse engineering, doing myself diagrams, etc., just to try to complete the information. So, and this case is a bit radical, but this is something that happens many times. Many times people come aboard and there's no procedures. Other times people go away and there's no procedures for when people leave the organizations. So this is another case of something that we can do about. And these are normally the typical cases that we have in knowledge management systems. So another thing is searching for relevant information. Voila, I didn't have all the information. We have, for instance, one of the things that we see in these systems is that they have searches. So you can search, like in Google, we search, but by keywords, okay? But searching by keywords not always returns the information that we want. So we lose quite a while trying to search for things. Also, if you don't know what are exactly the things, if we don't know exactly what we are, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry.
Hi.
No worries.
For the meeting of the Belgian-Portuguese Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm a little late.
No problem.
Yeah, so I did just the presentation about my company. It's knowledge management.
I read something about it.
Okay. And now I was just talking about what are the normal challenges that we face while we are working with these systems. So, and I was talking now about the search. So one of the problems also is sometimes I don't know which word I'm going to look for, because if, for instance, in the European Commission, with all the jargon that they apply, sometimes they use things that in my normal way of saying things is one word, and I search for that, but they have something else that corresponds to that word, but it's completely different. So it's a bit hard. So what we are trying to put and find today, it's the systems, they are already very good, which is semantic searches, and with AI that came even more easy, because voila, now you don't search for things, you have practically answers for what you are looking for in natural language. One other challenge is, for instance, the alignment of digital tools with work, what I talked in the beginning, because sometimes we have very sophisticated, and I'm working with one of those systems. This is kind of fun because I didn't realize that that is very sophisticated, but it's a pain to use it. So we need to really have a deep dive on that thing before we start to use the system. And still not always is easy, even with the training. Sometimes it's hard to just go around some problems. So what we do in this sense is also trying to search the tools that better fit the work that people are doing in their companies. And if there's some gap, we just fill it with whatever needed, coaching, training, trying to understand if there's something missing, etc., etc. And of course, what I was talking about, the critical knowledge ownership. So this is one of the terrors of any company. We have a very knowledgeable person. They know about a lot of things, but they are on their own world. They don't share with anyone. They do their own thing, blah, blah, blah. And suddenly they leave. And we have a baby that nobody knows on our hands. Nobody knows how to work with that. Nobody knows how to do whatever. So what we do is to try to pinpoint these this kind of problems, because it's a problem, and try to extract them as much as we can, these kind of things. Now with AI, also this decreased a bit, because if the system has a good AI, we can always try to find the patterns on the things that that person was doing and try to find how to work with what he was doing, even if he lives. And it's a huge amount of time that we lose doing these things. And when I say we, it's the ones that are working every day. I don't know one person that never had this with all the people that I work with. We all always had these things, and as it's something that I care about. I mean, I passed it really in my skin many times, and sometimes it was really needed some calming pills to make me go through. It's not just the time. Personally, it's not just time. It's also all the stress that you have. You have a project with a deadline, with a lot of things that are involved, and you have to deliver. So all this is just a huge amount of problems personally, but also for the organization. Because if we imagine that I'm a consultancy company, okay, I have to deliver a project at this date. If I don't have the things properly done, I will arrive to that date and probably I don't have the project done. So all the money that I could do until that point, I start losing from that point on. And sometimes it's really a lot, especially when they put fines. If we go beyond the project, is really a problem. So our company tries to prevent these kind of situations. And although we are an IT systems company, our main focus is people. Okay, we like to work with people. Even today with AI, it's let's do a kind of co-intelligence with AI, and not the AI doing everything for us. AI today. I know that, for instance, when the internet came, suddenly you had a lot more content that was plagiated than before, because copy paste is very attractive. And today with AI, it's a bit even more attractive, because we just ask something, he writes everything that we want, and it's there. So I just need to copy paste and modify some things. But here the focus is really how people work, how do they interact, what do they do to make a system work better. So, and in that sense, voila, one of the main things that we do is to understand how people capture or store or just interact between each other so they can produce collective knowledge, okay? And we can have collective knowledge that is a bit more of better quality, or knowledge that is not so great in quality. So, and from that collective knowledge, we try to extract what is important for a company, because many times, not even I have many things on my computer that contributes nothing for my business. So, and when I'm creating kind of a knowledge base or a knowledge management system, I try to extract what is really important for the system, or for the business, not whatever comes in mind. So what we do is we structure all this knowledge that is there. We organize, we see how to do the links, etc., and try to translate that to a knowledge system, which is just a digital system. It's just a digital system where we store this information, make it accessible, understandable, up to date, etc. So we do all the gardening also. So many companies, they don't have gardeners per se. It's quite a work, especially when we have big volumes of information. It's a huge work. So we also do the gardening, and we try to align always these tools with the work that people are doing. And when I say the work that people are doing, it's really pinpointing the work that people are doing, because I'm not going to present the same kind of information to a CEO that I would present to a financial guy or a designer or a marketing. So when the content is presented, it needs to be presented in a way that makes sense to these people. You see? So we do all of these things from one side to the other, or specific pains. So we just go, I have a ache here, so I'm just going to take care of that. So as I said, the goal is always helping people. And in here, poof. So as it was mentioned, so improve the understanding about helping people to improve their understanding about how the organization and the business are done, because many times it's still today, I can say, for instance, even in my businesses in the European institutions, there are things that, and I'm there for 13 years. So it's hard for me to understand some things, especially when they change the programs. And now we have a change of program again, so it's really hard. But these systems, they can help people to understand, okay, this is the mission of my company, this is the vision of my company, these are the goals of my company, etc., which many times it's not present. You have to do this work, and you do the work, and then you go home. But like this, you can align people for common goals, you see? So focus on what matters the most, make decisions faster and with more quality, because you have more good information, not everything around. And voila, use digital systems in ways that make sense to them and their work. So this is the introduction.
Many questions. I have the first question. I understand the IT part, but my impression at the end of this presentation is that it takes much more than an IT person, because at the end of the day,
yes,
that means that you need to understand exactly what the company is about, what each department unit is actually doing, because how do you decide what is important? How do you decide what makes sense? How do you as Abymys, since you're an external company, right?
Yeah.
You arrive. I understand that you are. You need to solve the issue of too much information, lost information, people who don't know where to go and get the information, people who leave with the information. But how do you, as an external, actually, and as an IT person, manage this?
Yeah. So as an IT, no. In this case, it goes before IT. So when arriving to IT, it's already this part of the work that was done. So
exactly,
the first thing that when we are in the terrain on a client, it's to interview. We interview, we watch, we see how the things are done, etc., etc. So, and then we make reports, we create the models, we start connecting the dots, and this is a work that is done. It's a long time.
Okay.
If it's a small system, a small, let's say a startup, normally we don't have great volumes of information in a startup. That can be done fairly quickly. With the commission, for instance, just to put the thing on air, it was 3 years just to create the entire.
That's 1 DG?
That's 1 DG. That was 1 DG.
Quite fast.
And it was 3 years, quite fast, because it was 12 people there.
15.
Yes, it was 12 people doing the work. We had information managers from the side of the DG also that were helping. So it was really a synergy of forces to achieve what we have today, which is a monster. I have to say, it's the biggest system that I ever saw and also did.
Can I ask you something? But do you extract the information? Do you like go there? Like for me, this is very, very strange because you see, okay, you do like a downgrade. You go to computers and you put like
no.
USB devices and take all the information and then organize it, or you go step by step. Like someone is telling you, like, look, these are the contracts. These are the whatever.
Yes.
That is, so you always need someone from the institution working with you
it's
on a daily basis to go through, because as Kathleen said, it's very weird thinking that someone from outside the information can go through it. I always worked in law firms, so we always have departments of knowledge management. Big law firms, you cannot work without them. But even for me, it was bizarre the work they were done there, because for me, said like, what exactly these guys do? Like they go through our work, they organize what in what terms.
So it depends on it depends on how it depends what is the goal first, okay? But talking generally, so imagine that we are in the law firm, okay? The law firm, the core of the thing is the law, so contracts, legislation, etc. But you have other things, and they can have other departments. If it's a big law firm,
you have financial department, you have like all the marketing department.
So normally, and for instance, that is something that we do when we start a project. We do it with a pilot, and let's say that in the law firm, it was about starting to manage or put a system in place that would make it easier to manage all the contracts, all the legislation that we have, all the meetings that we have with clients, etc., etc. So, and what we do then when we arrive, we say, okay, this is our goal. It's just the part of the legal department. Well, I was missing the word. So our focus is going to understand what is the kind of information that goes there. And we already have some assets or some resources that I just mentioned. We have the law, the legislation. We have, for instance, in the case of Europe, you have EURLEX, and it's huge. And you have the contracts, you have the meetings, you have even afterwards the bills that they charge to the clients, but that is already financial. But sometimes it's important also to see some things, even certain information that is indirectly related, but it's important. So we try to understand all this, how this is done, and then we start to categorize. One of the things that is very important is to put a structure in place. So normally we categorize, we put labels on it. We say, okay, this is for this is for that. So each thing on its own box. And from there, we start connecting the dots. Okay, this is, for instance, this legislation. But this legislation, in fact, is connected with this kind of contracts. And to have this kind of contract, I had these many meetings, etc., etc., etc. So I start to make the travel, as many travels as I can, to understand how the system works. And from that, we create a kind of a portrait of what we have in that department. And we try to translate that then in a digital system. We find a platform that is the most suitable, and we try to start translating that into the platform.
Sorry, I just like going crazy with this whole angle there. Okay. It's done. It's just.
Wait. Okay.
And so, and in the end, our work on the part of IT, it's that one. So we have all the mapping done. We know how the things are done, and we translate it to the digital system.
The IT part is the easy part.
The IT part, the IT part is the easy part. That's very true. It's not easy as such, but in terms of complexity we have
the first part.
all exactly. That is a huge work. And then it's just putting the system, of course. It's not that easy as that because you have many things to consider. But yes, then it's just structuring, put things in place, etc., and make it work. And of course, then it's going to the client, say, look, this is what we achieved. They try, they see, but we missed this, we missed that, blah, blah, blah. And we start to compose.
And you use AI a lot?
Now the systems, they are starting to have it integrated natively. So yes. AI, as much I have seen, it's going better. There's a lot of hype about AI, a lot. They announced that AI do things, spectacular things that actually we have to be careful about it because many times with AI, AI it's just an amplifier. So if we have a system that doesn't have that good of information, what AI is going to give you, it's bad information, because it's what it's fed with. And there's a lot of, for instance, in knowledge management systems, there's a lot of things that we need to be careful about. One of them is the security of the data, because if it's badly done, we can start to give to people things that are confidential because we didn't take that into consideration, and then we have a problem in our hands.
Of course.
But when it's well done, yes, it helps because it's natural. We just talk with the AI, goes and searches all the resources that we have in the system and returns with a coherent reply. Of course, we always have to double check many times, especially when it smells that it's not quite okay. But yeah, it's quite okay. It's quite okay. Not so wonderful as they preach, but it's quite okay. And now with the agents is even better because we can put these little bots that are very funny sometimes. We can put these little bots doing a lot of tasks for us.
About that this morning, actually in a program in radio.
Yeah.
And a guy saying that now he is training agents, virtual agents, AI agents, I don't know. And he said, it's great, I can actually go to sleep. And then during the night, they are actually doing the tasks that I gave them.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, are we actually going to get more productive with this?
Are we getting more productive with also the automations that we have in place?
No, because we say Portugal, one of the big problems of Portugal is lack of productivity.
Mm.
We work many hours, but actually in Europe, we are one of the least productive countries.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, will this help?
That's a good question. I will try to reply very shortly to that one because that one gives. We could debate for hours about that. If it will help, I think, and this is my opinion from the work that I've been doing in this area for a long time. And I will start, for instance, with the IT even before AI or this boom of AI, because AI is already here for many years. But we had exactly the same tools as all the other countries, right? We had wonderful tools. I discovered, for instance, that multibank, it's one of a kind. I thought I was shocked when I arrived here and I put the thing and I was like, I can just withdraw and where are the other functions? And that was amazing. That is something that really it's a very good system.
Nice tool.
Very good system. But taking these little pearls that we have exactly the same systems as all the other countries. Okay? From Romania to Portugal, everyone is using the same thing, Scandinavia, Germany, whatever. Now, did that make us more productive? Because the level of automation is the same. The level of productivity that we can extract from the tools is the same. Did that make us more productive?
But
So
it's
far,
a bit
no.
different because these are tools, and with this AI, you can put someone doing stuff
True.
autonomous. Like it's different. Maybe we are not being as productive as Germans with the same AI stuff, but more productive. I would say like is a fact because if you can put someone or something doing something for you without any work, or you only have to give them one thing, is like inevitable.
But my question is, does it make what the robot is doing? Does it make sense?
If you give
Is it being efficient? Or is it just?
I would say at some point
doing
it will
something?
depend on you. No? If you give them the right tasks and the
Probably.
right like food,
Yeah.
or yeah, I think it will depend on us. Like
Yeah.
as like ChatGPT. If you don't give like this guy
The right
instructions, it goes like
indeed.
it's a mess. No?
It's a matter of, in my opinion, it's a matter of culture, working culture.
Yeah.
It's a matter of culture. The thing is that, and I'm no exception. Why are we not so productive? Because first we are storytellers. We like to tell tales all the time. We like to talk.
We are more creative.
Exactly.
We are not
Voila.
productive,
It's
but we
it's
are
like
creative, so
for a German, you see an apple, that's an apple. For us, it's just not an apple. Look how beautiful it is. I'm just joking a bit, but it's at work. It's a bit like that. Many times we lack these more incisive and sharper vision on how to do things. It's and I see that because I work with a lot of Germans and Austrians and and Belgians and Dutch, and it's puff done. The Belgian in our teams, they arrive there at 8. They have their lunch at 12:30. They are already there. At 4, they are going.
But they were efficient.
bam, bam, bam.
And they did what
They did the job.
They did the job and they go home. What are the people there just going with the flow? And Greeks and Italians and Spanish. But yeah, it's kind of a stereotype, but yeah, it's really the way of
Maybe
working
we don't
that
need to
makes.
be as productive as the others. We just like the world is divided in some.
No, I think
we need to
I
be
mean,
more productive.
all of us who participated
Yeah.
in the event with the Minister of Finance, I think we all came out with a clear
Yeah.
understanding.
The
that Portugal
economy,
has the
yeah,
same problem.
it's true.
And it's not
It's
something
true.
new. So no, we cannot just pretend that we need to be productive. And the question is,
More
how
productive,
do
yeah.
we make this a reality happen? And this I'm really preoccupied with.
And-
It's interesting to
Yeah,
when I heard that this morning, I thought, is this maybe something we are so worried that it will cut jobs, but will it make us more productive?
yeah.
country has-
The agents
Yeah.
itself, they are super cute sometimes when we read some things that they do, but actually they are, let's say, automation beings. Okay, it's like having little secretaries or assistants working non-stop for us, doing whatever we need them to do while we sleep. Voila. So I need, yeah, I need.
Workers, no?
Me too.
But I
It's
think that
it's
Portuguese
useful to
people
have
are hard workers.
Yeah.
It's not about if you. It's trickier than this because I think we are hard workers. It's
Yeah,
not like
that is
if you
true.
work more or less.
That is true.
It's
And we are
tricky
not,
to discover what is
and
going
we
to
are not
productivity
bad
because-
workers.
because you don't have lazy people in general. Like you see people like working every day and working like a lot of hours, maybe not in the right way, but
exactly.
Yeah, and that.
maybe not in the right way because people work a lot.
What was your experience in the law firm?
I did litigation in
Mhm.
the beginning, commercial and civil litigation, contracts, this and that, and then I specialized in competition in the end of my.
And then how was the work there? Was it stressful? Not stressful?
What do you think? In a big law firm
Just
doing
just
litigation.
asking.
Yeah, of course it's super stressful because not because environment, because the work itself, because if you work with deadlines
Mhm.
in huge cases or in bigger law firms, the cases tend to be bigger as well.
That,
Deadline, 10 days, everything 10 days, 10 days, 10 days, like so every day you are like
yeah.
with this
And
story in your head.
that's precisely the point. The point that I wanted to see if my experience is also matched the experience, because that is my vision from all the years that I worked there in Portugal. I saw colleagues that they were the calmest people in a sea of completely anxiety and stress. We have to do this and do that, and we all shoot everywhere, and people are always doing no matter what, but they are super busy all the time.
Yeah.
And these guys, they were there.
Super
It's like,
calm.
are they doing something? They were doing their thing. They go to take coffee. They come back, and then at the end of the day, they had a pile of papers done, and they would go, where did
It's
they?
common to see people
Yeah.
it's super stressful, but many people look as this
Yeah.
calm as this guy because
Yeah.
you learn how to manage the stress.
Yeah.
You cannot be like this all day, otherwise you'll die. So of course, I think the first year is kind of wild, but
Yeah.
then you manage the stress.
And that comes many times from above also, because many times is who's on the top that presses who's on the bottom, and then on the bottom, and then on the bottom. And when we arrive there, we already have a chain of neuroses going up the chain, and the people that receive at the end, we are completely
Yeah, it's catastrophic.
yeah.
I remember
So-
the first case I had. The deadline was like, it was a huge case, and it was the last day of the deadline. And I want to be super stressed. And the partner came to me and said, like, why are you stressed? And I said, because we have the deadline today. And I said, yeah, it's like until like 11, it's like 12 hours. You know how many things you can do in 12 hours? Just relax, it will be
Mhm.
okay. And then I said, yeah, why not? Let's just do it. So at some point you think like this, like, okay, it's tomorrow, but how many things you can do in 24 hours? A lot, if you just focus.
Yeah, exactly.
So I take the opportunity maybe to introduce those online. Philippe Bormans, good morning.
Hey.
Good morning,
Nice
Philippe.
seeing you.
Good
Philippe
morning.
works in a big Belgian company that probably had many of the issues that Vítor mentioned today. A lot of
Absolutely.
information lost, a lot of information not passed correctly.
Absolutely. And
Why don't we hear you well?
Just a second,
Um,
Philippe. Maybe it's the sound.
No, it's not you the problem, it's us, it's us. Can you talk?
can you hear me?
No, it's try the computer, Kathleen.
Is it?
The sound.
Maybe.
We can hear you, Philippe.
Yeah.
Is
From, from the
It is.
computer.
Great.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Yes, perfect.
Excellent. Fascinating actually story about your company. And as actually Kathleen mentioned, I used to work for a big company with a lot of IT issues, but also a lot of confidentiality issues actually. And considering we were dealing with payroll is extremely, of course, confidential. And I will fall back on the previous question regarding how you are dealing with confidentiality and how do you actually spread the information, because it happened in this company that at some point the employees of one company who was a client of ours could see all the payroll from everybody, including the directors. You can imagine that went not very well. That was a bit tricky. And if an external company like yours intervenes, actually with all the departments and all the IT issues that we have, I think it's a colossal task actually to divide what's confidential and not, and to whom and for what.
Yeah.
And that is my biggest actually question and worry when it comes to what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. So in that sense, we have to see what is the best approach. So one of the things that normally we do in these kind of systems is to work with the first to understand, as you said, what is the confidential data that we have in the system and isolate it. So this is in their special compartments with their special set of permissions that will not just go outside. So only the people that are in that set of permissions can access that information. This is what is normally done. But there are cases where the information is extremely sensitive. So in these cases, normally what we do is to create a system apart. We don't rely just on that system. We have the main system, but then we have a system apart where only those people can access, nobody else. And we have that, for instance, with the extranets, that is a very tricky one. Because if we have it in the same system, in the same knowledge management system, there is always a chance of having someone that comes, and sometimes it's just a user. He comes and he or she comes and they just access things because they can. There was a problem in IT. We didn't provide the proper set of permissions, so suddenly everyone can see whatever. So that is very tricky. If we have information that is very sensitive, the most recommended way to do the things is really isolate. So we isolate this part, and nobody even can, in the extreme, know about it, but that group of people that we want. I don't know if this replies to your question or not.
Yeah, more or less, actually, indeed. That because indeed, as I mentioned, that is the biggest worry, because even internally, some people cannot see everything. Externally, of course not. But even some people from the IT are not allowed to see something, and then that's sometimes tricky because they themselves have to manage information they cannot see, which is a bit tricky indeed. So you did indeed answer my question for the most part. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
André, I don't know if you are with us, but thank you for joining. André Vieira is in Portugal in the north, in the steel Galva company. And here?
So my name is Will Volker. I'm just interested. I lived in Portugal for 6 years until April. I'm British, but I've also got Portuguese nationality. I used to work in IT as a computer programmer 12 years, and since then I'm an English teacher, speak Portuguese upper intermediate level, and background basically. So yeah, no, it's very interesting. Thank you very much for explaining everything.
Thank you.
So you were in Portugal in the IT sector?
No, I was in tourism. So I was in London. I was in IT in London.
IT in London.
And I quit that and I went to Portugal. I used to run an Airbnb and I taught English.
Okay.
So
you changed completely.
I changed completely. I sort of ended up here, but I'm Miss Portugal, so I'm sort of curious. Focus on here to get involved in the community. Portuguese diaspora here, basically.
And now do you teach here in Brussels? What are you doing here?
Yeah, I'm an online English teacher.
Okay,
fine.
Yeah. I'm just sort of trying to find work and get involved, basically. Yeah.
Very good.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm selling my house. Anybody? 5-bedroom house near the sea
in Portugal.
Yeah.
Where?
Let's chip in and buy it.
Yeah.
Santa Cruz, close by. Yeah.
Beautiful.
It's very, very, very beautiful. Yeah.
So you've closed the Portugal door.
Chapter.
Closing, I think.
Okay.
My mind is just settling.
Okay.
Are you sure? Because if you look at
Well, I'm British.
And Torres, I'm not sure if it's not so
Santa
similar,
Cruz,
no?
specifically.
Yeah.
It's really rainy.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think Belgium is more rainy than London, to be honest.
No, it's
Is that
not.
right?
Hi, Kathleen.
No, it's actually even recorded that the north of Portugal even is more rainy than Belgium.
That's true.
Yeah.
Things are changing. The first year I spent here, I would swear that here rains more than everywhere in the world. But
No,
this year was quite.
And Rui?
Yes, sorry I was late. There was a problem with the metro, but I'm happy to be here. So I'm the former president. I just succeeded. It was the other way around. Catherine just succeeded me. I've been involved since 20 years now with the chamber since I moved here 23 years ago. And I'm a lawyer, so that's my business. And I'm also involved with the associations world, with the chamber, the alumni at Coimbra University Association, but also with the Portuguese Diaspora Council, which I'm a member. So I'm of course interested in that goes with IT, also for my business as a lawyer. And just to share that it's a very dynamic world, IT, legal, let's say, legal tech sector is booming, with many providers coming up to the bar here in Brussels to sell their products. We have fairs only dedicated to IT for lawyers, with half a day fair with talks, and then the exhibition hall with IT service providers for lawyers. And I've been granted, for example, yesterday and today, access to a new platform that they just called in, and it's Walter's Mover. It's a big edition house. It's a program for lawyers. In View Legal, they call it, and now they're giving access a couple of days for the lawyers to see what it looks like. But also the bar itself has teamed up with a local company, IT company. They came up with a thing called Jeff, and I offered it for the lawyers to use for the last 6 months. 6 months or so. And now they are selling it for a reasonable amount of money, where the bar will also chip in with some money. So everyone is involved, even lawyers. It can be very helpful, but it is very scary too. Because, for example, as Luisa knows, we are normally, we invoice by the hour, your time sheet. But now, a contract that could take a few hours, it will take a few minutes. And so how can we invoice them? We need to change completely the mindset and invoice by the product. A contract will be X amount of money instead of by the hour. So there will be a shift on our way of reasoning and invoicing. The client will have also to adapt. And now the lawyers will, the clients will think, how can you invoice me this much money for a thing that only took a few minutes? So it's going to be a challenge for us too. So some will be okay, some will not. I don't think that technology will take our place. It's the lawyers that use technology, they will take our place. Those that will master the technology, they will be our biggest competitors. So it's not the AI itself, it's those that use AI to take our jobs. So might as well be also involved, part of the revolution, and then try to get out alive, because it's going to be swallowing some in, like, you know, in the middle. Some will be lost, I think. So it's a bit like mixed feelings about technology and law, but we cannot just hide our heads like an outfit. We need just to be part of the revolution and try to get the best out of it. It's a bit scary, and then it costs a lot of money too. Because if you want to get, for example, this, just to give you some figures, this product that I'm testing now for these 2 days will already cost more than 300 euros per month per user. So a law firm will be thousands of euros per month. So it's going to be also expensive for the law firms to use this, but they have no other choice. They need to have this kind of products, otherwise. And then there's the problem of GDPR issues, a lot of issues. Because when you feed the system with a contract with data, then you're already releasing the data in the wild. No one knows where the names of the parties, some sensitive parts of the contract will end. No one knows. So these service providers now, they are selling us that all the data is in Europe, whereas of course ChatGPT or Claude or whatever those knows where. So these guys are unique selling point is no, this is Europe. So that where in Europe, can we trust all the countries? Is it in Hungary, for example? No, depending on where in Europe. So lots of challenges, and the bar will be coming on a more frequent control of the offices. They just pop in and they want to see your software. They want to see your compliance with GDPR, the software that you use, where the data hosted. So these are issues that we are facing as a profession, I think, that may be also mindful of. Otherwise, you can always exchange information.
Surely.
This gave a lot of ideas for a very interesting meeting with our law firms, members of the chamber. I think this
There are
is.
many challenges.
I have no idea of what you said now.
We can organize this with Stan.
Yeah, that
Remember
would be
that
very
we will-
interesting.
It's changing fundamentally the way we're going to work and invoice, and
Yeah, of course.
what is our value? Where do we add value? Is it because now the machines are doing a lot of things? So where is the value added?
But I think we have something to learn with like these big law firms here in Belgium. My husband also works in a British law firm that is huge, and they use it for a long time. This is settled, and we still have like lawyers charging thousands of euros per hour. So I think maybe we should put like the eyes on this and say, okay, these guys still manage to do this. Why? Okay, because they really sell the knowledge they have. So I think we'll not have place if we are doing like some automatic tasks, this kind of tasks. They are gone forever. It's to forget. It's not to charge. We need to invest in like real knowledge and adding value where we can do it.
Yeah.
Because if they still exist and they charge this crazy amount of money, and the companies are like willing to pay, is because they effectively they need than knowledge. So maybe this is like the way.
I think it's a challenge for them too. It's for everyone, for the small ones.
It's for them, but they use it already. There's not a problem of, and clients are not saying that I will not pay you this because you only took like 5 minutes.
It's not
to
the
this
same
call.
level of client.
No, but
No,
It's clients maybe you don't
Different,
look at.
different.
but you have
pennies.
to adapt like what you sell, in what terms you sell. Like if
Yeah.
you see their example, of course you need to adapt. It's not the same kind of clients, it's not the same amount of money. But maybe we need to like be okay with the idea of not charging for some things that we used to charge.
No, but I think when you have a big company that is okay with paying 500,000 euros for a small file, or and then you have a person who pays, I don't know, 5,000 euros for. Of course, if it's me, I will pay much more attention to, hey, why are you charging me this? I don't think big companies will pay that same level of attention.
I think the one trick we can use is like changing the way of charging.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
You will not
Exactly.
charge the same way. You will say like 20 minutes to the. It's
Yeah.
like maybe the works is still the same, or but you need to change your way of
Exactly.
charging, and the invoices you cannot use this traditional invoice.
It's the models are changing.
The models are
It's-
changing, so you need to change like
Yeah.
the way you charge.
So Vítor, I'm very happy because I think I finally understood what
yeah,
knowledge management is.
Yeah,
And knowledge systems. I've been hearing about those terms for years, and I was thinking, what the hell is knowledge management? And it's actually very interesting. And I think every level, every company, every organization, be it small, medium, large, actually suffers with this issue. And I think we can say, for example, the chamber is nearly 90 years old. There's probably a lot of information there lost somewhere because 90 years ago, we didn't have, of course, the same systems as we have now, shared drives, information, IT, like shared drives and computers. And so the question is, in fact, how can even small organizations like ours use your services? Does it make sense, or are we talking only for big?
No. It even I mean this actually it's a transversal area. So it touches from small, even just at personal level, like a freelancer. Me as a freelancer in Portugal, I had a huge amount of information stored on my drive that sometimes I would lose it. And for some freelancers, imagine, for instance, we are talking about lawyers. Imagine a freelancer lawyer has his own office, his own things, has his own clients.
Yeah.
And with the years in the piling up of information that they have, it starts to be hard to keep up. And then I have to remember a case from I don't know when, and okay, it was there, but then this is linked with I don't know what. So that is a small case. So it's one person to very large. So it goes to all sizes of companies, or organizations, all public, private, doesn't matter. So even at school.
And you also work with small companies?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Do you have a team? For example, you mentioned an example of you were 16 people working on a specific 12. Do you contract yourself people to work with you?
Sub-hires, because we are a very small company. It's
So you have a pool of people that you can call.
Yeah.
What kind of profiles do you work with?
In this case, I work with information managers and then a lot of IT people also, from developers to system administrators, etc. And basically, it's pretty much it. And then if we have a special needs, which normally it's not covered, then we need to find someone to cover for that. But it's sub-hiring for now.
Very good.
Sorry. First of all, I want to congratulate you for all of the work that you are doing. But I was curious about your business model and the way that you process your prices, because you work with small companies and large companies. So, do you have different plans and prices, or do you personalize?
Yeah. Normally, it's very variable. It depends on what is needed to do. If it's something that is very small for a very small, let's say a startup, okay, something that they just won't have small system, they want just to start organizing things because they know that tomorrow probably it will be a mess. So, and if it's something simple, I can say, okay, I do this for 2 days, I analyze, I give you these points. If it's not something that I need to implement, it's just giving advice, I can go, I don't know, for the entire work, 900 euros or 1,000 euros, because it's small things, it's a report, etc. But if we need more resources, more time, more implementation, the tools, more research, etc., it can pile and pile up. So all depends on the case itself. I can say that for the simplest, we can go for the 1,000, but well, then it starts going from that. And sometimes it's not even that, because, for instance, sometimes people just want to know what is probably the best technology or what is the best licensing that they should have for a certain system they are already using. But is this correct? Do I need really this? And for that, it's really not a big deal. Licensing is one of the easiest things to analyze. It has its caveats from time to time, but normally it's very simple and it can be even cheaper. So it all depends.
So we will talk with you after.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Vítor.
Thank you. And
in person.
I had just for those that are. Because I cannot give you my contacts, so I would just leave you. Oops, sorry.
I think we stopped sharing.
You need to share the screen.
Oh yeah, sorry. Damn. Okay. Partager et partager. Okay. So this is our contacts. It's in this case it's me and Maxim. And I put there is important. We both speak English and French, but then we have a small difference about the native language. So Portuguese and Netherlands for Max, and is basically my operations coordinator. So I take care of the part of the work that is more about research and these kind of things going on the terrain, and he does all the backstage for me, which is super important.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vítor. Thank you.
Merci, Philippe. Obrigada, André.
Merci. Thank you.
Merci.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a nice day, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.